What one change do you want to see? What's the revelation? What's the revolution? What's the revolution? What revolution do you want to see?
I think that for me, what I want to see more people taking an interest in their personal development. And the reason why I want to see that is because that has made a whole difference in my life. There's been a lot of things that I've been through which have forced me, like you said, trauma kind of forces you to make a change. And as a result of the changes that I've made, it's developed me as a person. So when Natalie was saying that she wanted to be the best version of herself, like I'm trying to live that reality. And I want other people to be able to access that, because when we can vibrate on like a higher level as a collective, because we're doing the work individually, that's going to have more substance in it. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all at different stages in our journey. But if everybody is focused on their development, then that's going to make us stronger as a collective. So for me, the change that I want to see is people working really hard on developing themselves.
Thank you. Jodie, when this one is finished, I want you to close us out with the poem, yeah? So get yourself ready for that.
Jesus. All right.
I want to see more love within ourselves, with each other. Because I think we're the hardest on each other, to be honest, as Black people. We criticize each other. We criticize ourselves.
So true.
And I want us to also educate ourselves on our history. A lot of us don't know our history. A lot of us don't care to know our history. And our history is beautiful. We're kings and queens. So that's what I would like to.
Imagine that. So we're talking all about changing narrative. If we don't know the story, why do we want them to know? If we don't know it, how are we expecting them to educate our children if we don't know the story? Haj?
Yeah. I want us to walk in our truth and own it. This is the reality. This is what is happening. Own it, accept it, and be accountable in how we can progress to move on. And that's what I want us to do, start walking in your light, in your truth.
Nats?
I think for me, it's when you are walking in your truth and others know the truth, walk side by side with you.
Oh, good. Like that. Okay. I think for me, something came. So I finished, I did a trauma training. I finished it in January. And I remember I wrote something on, oh my goodness, I didn't bring it in here. And I said I was going to bring it. I wrote this, some words out that I said, this is how I want to live my life. This is how I want to run my business. In any interaction I have with people, this is what I want to be kind of the template for all my interactions. And it was non-judgmental, empathic, compassionate, and kind. And then when I wrote it out, I realized it spelled neck. So then I put them up in that order. So it spelled neck, and then I kind of looked up what the neck represented. Obviously, I don't have the paper now, so I can't really But kind of you saw the value of the significance of the neck. Everything. This is your pipeline right here. If this isn't right, nothing else works here. Nothing else works down here. So this.
I'm sorry. 1 second.
Everything together. That's fine, Joe. When I saw the George Floyd situation, that came back to me. Your foot is on his neck. And I think the revolution that I want to see, the change that I want to see, is all of us living non-judgmentally, empathically, compassionately, and with kindness. I think that's the solution. So regardless of your race or your ethnicity or your status in the workplace or your relationship at home, all of us need that neck. Okay. So we're going to close out with Jodie. Ladies, you've been amazing. Thank you so much. I can't believe we've been here for a long time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, guys.
I looked up and it was a lot. I'm waiting for Jodie to read her poem. I think she's going to get it. So Jodie's just going to close with the poem. And then that's it. How are you feeling?
Just trying to draw out emotions from people today, yeah. Feeling like boys to men right now.
I can't. How are you feeling, Natalie?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel like it's a nice place to express yourself, you know? And if this is the starting of what's to come, it's only going to be a good thing that people can just get together. That's togetherness. We can't move alone, really.
Yeah. Becky, how are you feeling?
I'm not actually an emotional person, to be honest with you guys. She knows I'm not. I'll be smiling most of the time. It's hard for you to see me break down, but I felt like it was a safe space. So thank you guys.
How are you feeling, Jodie?
Well, a bit out of breath because I ran back upstairs. But sorry. Apart from that, I'm actually feeling really good, and it's noticeable because I haven't felt good for a long time. So I'm trying to ride the wave as long as I can and to keep the momentum up so that even when I have bad days and it brings me down, I'm able to pick myself back up. So yeah, that's it really. But I'm actually feeling really good right now, and I'm happy to be surrounded by the positive energy. And even in my close friendship groups, we have something very similar to this. And obviously, it's not like we're all really close friends that have known each other for years, but I have something like this in my friendship group, which I'm really grateful for. So even people that I've been speaking to on Facebook, and I've known them for a couple of years, I may not have met them, but we're having these conversations, and there's so many of them happening all over the place, and people who are actually trying to put things in place for the future when the hype dies down. So I'm feeling optimistic, and it's good.
And that's something we need to talk about. If everyone's in their corner doing their own thing, where is there room for us to probably come together on a bigger scale? What do you think we need to do next in terms of this?
Talking, continue talking. It's the only way, I think, in terms of conversation. My mum will say I'm the complete opposite. It's like, you never talk to me. I'm like, if I talk to you, I'll kill your ear off. But I think this is an excellent platform to just talk and let off how you are feeling with different people. I mean, we all have our best friends and etc. And sometimes, yeah, we can talk to them about certain things, but then because they're so used to you, they will agree with you. Do you understand? It's good to have different opinions and different views, and let's just keep the story going.
Okay, watch this space. I'll tell you what next steps potentially could be. Jodie, could you read and close us out, please, bye?
Yeah, can I share the screen? Because I can't see, so I can't read it from my phone properly.
There you go.
Thank you, my love.
That's fine, baby.
Okay, all right. Just get myself ready. There we go. The history of my race is long and complex. When I think about all the pain, it makes my whole spirit vex. Drowning from the hurt, being constantly pulled into a screaming vortex. From the murder and the rape of my ancestors and the many lands that you annex, to the miseducation of the Negro, existing only as your subjects, living in your man-made ghettos around the world, from paycheck to paycheck, struggling to survive and make it out of the projects. And yet you tell me that I should be happy for progress, like you didn't see what happened to Marcus Garvey, to King, or even Malcolm X. Black people have only ever asked for your equality, to be seen above the decks, to be treated like humans with dignity and respect. So you tell me why? Why is that so complex? My heart is so full. It's so full that it's overflowing. To constantly view images of dead black bodies, to feel the tears uncontrollably flowing, seeing the complete disregard for black lives that this world keeps on showing, actively stunting the development of a whole race just to stop us from growing. Why aren't people more outraged about this? For all the centuries that it's been ongoing. Instead, they act like it's a black problem, when really it's their privilege that they should consider foregoing. They continue to enjoy their blissful ignorance and actually expect to get a pass for not knowing. Well, I think to be ignorant is to be complicit, to be morally bankrupt and legally owing. Black people are tired and fed up with the excuses that you make. Black people are demanding justice for the many lives that you take. We refuse to sit back and be quiet for peace sake. We will protest and we will riot and let the entire world bake. So much of our blood has already been spilled. It settles in your streets like a lake of depression, institutional racism, police brutality, poverty, and heartbreak. Our entire existence reduced to the color of our skin, a life consumed by heartache. So, Black people, awake, awake from your slumber, awake. In this part of the revolution, you will partake. Unity must be our strength. That is the only way we make this earth shake. So, awake, Black people, awake.